listening to LOA Recon with the Good Vibe Coach Jeanette Ma, where we dissect the ins and outs and the art and science of conscious creation, all intended to amp up your manifesting game. Let's have some fun together. One of my intentions with this podcast for the new year is that, basically, that brings you magic. I want it to bring you inspiration and upliftment and insight and enjoyment and empowerment and fun. That's magic. All that stuff. That's all good vibrations. That's what I want it to do for you. So I was thinking about an episode that could be pure magic. This is that episode. And you might laugh at what I have in mind for you. Some of you might skip this. Some of you, like if this comes up on your rotation, might just fast forward. But there are others who will feel the joy in this and know the magic that it is. I'm going to tell you the story of Harvey. I can't imagine more magic that I could bring to you than for me to tell you the story of Harvey. All right. So for those of you who don't know, if we're Facebook friends, you already know who this I introduce him to others as my forever true love. Harvey is my most amazing German Shepherd dog. He's about a year and a half. How old is he now? Oh my gosh, he's going to be 2 years in March next year. Well, it's coming up in the new year. So let me tell you how amazing this guy is. And this is the magic. I'm sharing the vibrations that if they get in you, they will do magic in your world. All you got to do is listen to me love up on this guy. He's the best dog ever. You know what made me think about this? So my appreciations board, you know how I have a favorite things board? It's a whiteboard that I keep in the hallway, and every day I write down my favorite thing of the day. Some days I'm writing down several things. Some days nothing gets written down, but it's a collection of all my favorite things. Okay, so I recently started over with it, and like the first 4 things that went up on there, 3 of them were all Harvey related. And I thought Harvey just brings me so much love and appreciation and joy. It's ridiculous, but I'm reveling in it. And I thought it might be fun for you to revel in it with me, because this is appreciation, joy, love. The vibrations don't get any higher than that. That's where magic comes from. It's from getting in these vibrations. Okay, so here's the story of Harvey. I was dating a guy who, I was just going to say, I was dating a guy who lost his 2 retrievers. You know what? This is where all good things come from. Contrast. It's where all good things come from. And, okay, so I'm dating a guy. He loses his 2 retrievers. They were senior dogs. I mean, it wasn't like traumatic or anything. They were seniors, but it was sad. Anyway, he's in the market for a new dog, and he started thinking maybe fostering is a good way to meet one. So he volunteers for a rescue group that I've never worked with before, and they hook him up with a dog. They hook him up with Jasmine. Some of you who know the animals in my life, you know he foster failed on his very first one. He adopted Jasmine. She is an amazing dog. My dad actually thinks she's the best dog any of us have ever met. And that's saying something considering how many dogs I've met. And you know what? He might be right. I am a really big fan of Chester. Chester was a pit bull foster that I had. It's been so long since I fostered Chester. I barely remember him. I just remember thinking he's the best dog I've ever fostered. He's still on my Facebook banner. That's him. That's Chester. I don't even know how long ago that was. That was Viral. That's how many boyfriends ago that was. Okay. So George gets a new foster, Jasmine. He adopts her, but he's kind of maybe sort of somewhat halfway thinking of 2 dogs. So he's at my house one day. I think he was sitting across from me. He was sitting in a chair. Either that, I'm pretty sure this was in person. But I remember he's scrolling through his Facebook feed in the group that he's a member of. They're posting they need someone who will foster pregnant dogs, someone who's willing to do puppies. And he just says they're looking for a puppy foster. And I lost my mind instantly. I was not a person I wasn't jonesing for puppies. I had no business saying I wanted to foster puppies. It's not like I had this gigantic gap in my life with me wondering what in the world could I do? No. But when he said that, I was a super freak. For him to get that dog, I wanted to foster those puppies. In hindsight, it makes sense. At the moment, I made no sense how animated I was about getting those puppies. And look, here's the state of how well things have come in rescue world in Utah. You kind of do have to move fast to get puppies, because back in the day when I first started, they would beg for someone to take puppies. And sometimes they didn't always get takers. Oh, it's changed. Things have changed. It's been one of my intentions. I thought about if I had any kids, if I had any grandkids, I'll be telling it to my boyfriend's grandkids, how back in the day, you used to, like, I'm intending they're going to live in a different world where homeless animals are not a thing. I'm starting to see it in my world already. And I knew that. I knew that when he said puppies, I was all over him. Get those puppies. I didn't make sense about how much energy I was putting in this. It was instant. I was a super freak. I don't know how else to describe it. I didn't wait 5 minutes for him to agree with me. I didn't give him really any time to think about it at all. Because really, that's a kind of decision you should think about. I didn't give him a chance to think about it. I figured worst case scenario, I will be a single parent to these puppies. But he replied, we got the dog. What happened was they had adopted this dog. No, they didn't adopt her. They rescued this dog out of a New Mexico shelter, brought her to, they take a lot of animals out of New Mexico because guess what? We're doing well enough here that we can help other states. How do you like that? We're doing pretty good. I'm so proud of us here in Utah. A lot of that credit goes to Best Friends Animal Society. They have done a lot of work with local rescue groups. I'm just so proud of us. Anyway, so they get this dog, they roll her in for her spay, and vet realizes, oh, this girl's pregnant. Guess what they did? They sewed her up to stick her in a foster home to have those puppies. Yay for that answer. I love that answer. Okay, so we got this dog. Don't know how pregnant she is. We didn't get those details, but it turns out I think we had her a month before she had him. Oh my gosh, this was a great time to be Facebook friends with me because I posted some of this stuff. Oh, it's so fun. So she has puppies and she has 8 of them. Good Lord, she has 8. And fostering puppies. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of poop. It's a lot of destruction. It really is good if you have a helper. Do it. One person doing this. If that was your full-time job, okay. But if you got any other responsibilities or anywhere else to be, hello, it's a lot of work. So it's good. George and I were doing this together. So we had the puppies at my place. They were in my house for a while until the weather was good enough we could take them outside for part of the day, and they'd be outside. But then once they got big enough, they just climbed right up the rock wall. Oh, that was time we had to take them to George's house. So by this time, okay, I'm in a place in my life where I have no room for no more animals. I am full across the board. Dogs and cats got no room, nothing, no business looking at nobody. I don't. And there's a puppy there that he wasn't the pick of the litter because he did not get adopted first, but they were crazy because anyone who was paying any attention whatsoever, of course, Harvey was for me. No one else could see him because he was for me. That's probably why. I didn't know that at the time, but hello, this is more fabulous things coming from contrast. I lost 2 dogs in a row and then my favorite cat. So by the time I lost the third one, because I wanted Harvey. Did we name him? I think we did. And I named him. I don't name fosters, but I knew his name was Harvey. So my dad thinks that's kind of weird because my dad's best friend's name is Harvey. And he said, why did you name him Harvey? And I said, because that's a name that was always spoken of love in our house growing up. And my mom kind of laughed because she doesn't remember having loving feelings like that. But I don't know. The dog's name is Harvey. I don't know what else to tell you. So I had named him before I had any business claiming him as mine. But once I lost, first it was Coda, then it was Molly, or was it Molly and then Coda? I think it was Coda first. And then Molly, I can't remember. And then my cat right after that. And I had been wanting this dog that I wasn't letting myself have because I didn't have room. And I thought, just let yourself have what you want, Jeanette. Don't make universe make any more room for what you want. So I adopted Harvey officially. I adopted Harvey. And I only adopt the unadoptable ones. And this guy was the exact opposite of unadoptable. He was so freaking cute. He still is. He had these like brown outline on his ears. His ears were black. He's a German Shepherd. His ears were black, but he had this brown outline. He's kind of grown out of that. And he did lose all that super soft puppy fur they have, but his coat is amazing. He's like the perfect dog for me because he hardly sheds. This guy hardly sheds. And not that I care about that. I liked vacuuming, but, when we go on dog walks, he comes back with the least amount of stickers. In fact, sometimes he has no stickers, and the other dogs, you got a job on your hands pulling stickers out of these guys. Not Harvey. He has the best coat. So I'm going to tell you all the things I love about this guy. And that's the point of this. This is this whole episode. There's not really any law of attraction lesson in it other than it's worth reveling in what we love. This is a practice of vibration management. Okay. So I adopt Harvey, and, I had Sadie. I had lost 2 dogs, but I had 3 at the time. I had my 2, and then I always have a hospice foster. Molly was my hospice foster. And then all of a sudden it's just me and Sadie and Harvey. And Sadie was a senior, so I thought I'm just going to enjoy every amount of time that I can get with her, and we did. And she maybe helped Harvey learn some things. Like I suspect that she taught him a lot of good things. There's no doubt about it. But then I lost Sadie too. So lately it's just been me and Harvey. And I thought this is going to be terrible. And it wasn't my favorite thing for a minute. Like this house felt really empty. Oh my gosh, this is more good things coming from contrast again. Because listen to this. So at first it felt like unnatural for me to only have 1 dog. That's unnatural. But I also knew, oh my gosh, I still have foster kittens? I've got plenty of other things to do. I do not need another foster right now. So we're just going to sit tight for a minute till I got the bandwidth for another dog. And then we'll start fostering again, and I'll foster fail on somebody. But in the meantime, it's just us. And it felt at first really empty, kind of really not very cool for it just to be me and Harvey. Just me and Harvey. We also got a bunch of cats here, but you know what I mean. I'm a dog person. So, but it's just me and Harvey. And it went from, it's just me and Harvey, like sad, to it's just me and Harvey, like miraculous, like happy, like I am developing a connection with this dog. Like, I don't think I've ever had just 1 dog, not for very long anyway. If I ever did, I'm not sure that's, maybe once, maybe when Kita died, I had Sophie for just a little while before I can't remember who I got. Anyway, I never had 1 dog for very long at all. So this was unusual for me to just have Harvey. And he's young enough that, I'm still learning who he is, and he's still learning about life and stuff. So it's a good time for him to be getting my solo attention. And we are developing a connection that he's my forever true love. That's all I'm going to say. Well, that's not all I'm going to say. This whole episode is everything I'm going to say about Harvey, but I couldn't say all the good things about Harvey in one place. I couldn't. You know where this episode was inspired? So you know how I have a favorite things board? It's a whiteboard where I write down my favorite thing from each day. And on some days I'm writing down 2 or 3 things. That's how good. And some days nothing gets written down, but it's a collection of all my favorite things that are happening, just everyday things. And I had recently cleaned the board, and the first 4 things that went up on the new board, 3 out of 4 of them were Harvey related. I just thought how much joy this dog brings me. It's ridiculous. Oh my gosh, I love him so much. And part of that is because it's just me and him. And we're developing a bond like I don't know if I ever had a chance to develop it that way with other dogs. Either that or Harvey's the coolest dog ever. And I kind of think that's it. Because, okay, not only is he the most handsome boy on the planet, but also he's super smart. Okay, here's how smart he is. Listen to this. So, my gosh, and how perfect. Because one of my thoughts was, I need another dog because, to only be 1 dog, it's like, don't make anyone be the only one. They should have a friend. So I kind of thought Harvey needed a friend, but it just wasn't a dog friend besides me. I didn't think it was the right time, but then guess what? So the neighbors adopted a golden doodle, and he's a little bit younger and smaller than Harvey is, but he wants to play too. So and we don't have a fence between our yards. How cool is this? So it took a minute for Harvey to recognize this is his new best friend, but he recognizes it now, and he's so smart. Okay, yesterday we heard Charlie. His name, the golden doodle's name is Charlie. I kind of have to whisper it because if I say his name loud enough for Harvey to hear, guess what happens? He jumps to attention and he goes running to look out the window to see if he can see Charlie. So from our house, he has to look for Charlie. He has to stare out the bedroom window. And when we're out on the back deck, he has to run around down the stairs and go around the corner in order to look in his yard. His favorite place to look for Charlie is in the front yard where he can have better view. It is so cute to watch Harvey scouring. In fact, he's so intent. We go out sometimes. I'm like, let's play. And all he does is sit there and look for Charlie. He really wants. You know what I love about him? There's no fence, and he doesn't run over there to go look for Charlie. He stays here by me, but he's looking for Charlie. So sometimes I text Charlie's mom and I say, hey, can Charlie come play? And she'll send him out. And when Charlie comes running over, a golden doodle, y'all. Come on, I thought Harvey was adorable, and Harvey is adorable, do not get me wrong. But to see that golden doodle running with his ears flopping, because he's just hightailing it over here to come play. I personally secretly think Charlie likes me better than he likes Harvey, but I could be wrong about that. And it might just be because I have good treats. That's probably it. And also I'm the one who lets him in the house, and Charlie really likes kittens. But he still comes running over very enthusiastically, and he plays with Harvey. He plays with him so well. He's a good sport because Harvey plays a little rough sometimes, and Charlie is smaller and he's younger. He's probably always going to be smaller. He's probably not going to be bigger. Oh, this is the other thing I love about Harvey. So I like big dogs, but his mom was a small shepherd. She was underweight when we got her, but she was probably 45 pounds. She's a stunning looking dog. Stunning, stunning, stunning. She looked exactly like German shepherds are supposed to look like. The thought that they're supposed to look like anything other than what they look like doesn't make sense to me. But she's small, and I like dogs big. Even Jasmine is like 60 pounds, and that's kind of small for me. I like big dogs. So I was hoping that Harvey would grow up to at least break 70, preferably. Could he be 75, please? Guess how much Harvey weighs? 75 pounds. I love that. So he's a big boy and Charlie's not, but they still play together really, really, really well. So it's adorable to see what good friends they are and how much they entertain each other, how fast they run. It's so fun to let Harvey have a best dog friend, even though I only have one dog. Charlie lives right next door. They get to play together almost every day. How fabulous is that? So let me tell you what else I love about Harvey. Oh gosh, you've seen the pictures. So he grew up with kittens, foster kittens. They've been here from day one. He has never had a time where kittens were not in his world, and cats too, obviously. But some of these kittens have grown up with him, and they rub all up against him. They walk on him. They lay underneath his head, in between his legs. They're all over him, and he doesn't even mind. He doesn't even mind. Jasmine, she does not like that. She really does not like that. But Harvey's not only down with it, he doesn't just tolerate it. I think he kind of likes it. He's happy to have cat friends too. I love that about him too. I also love how good he is. I can take him out and about to other people's houses, and people always comment on what a great dog he is. In fact, one of my ex-boyfriends said, he said, your dogs, he said this of all my dogs, but it's especially true of Harvey. Of course, I think so, because I'm just raving about Harvey right now. But he said, my dogs are different than other people's dogs. He said, you can tell they're loved. Oh boy, are they loved. But he said, they're not frantic. They don't bounce around out of control. He said, you could just tell someone's treating them right. They are getting a lot of love from me. I will agree with that. But I also have really good dogs. I have really, really good dogs. Oh, all right. I could do this all day. In fact, if I did it all day, I probably wouldn't even list all of the amazing things about this dog. And this is what magic is. It's immersing yourself in something that you love. So if you could feel my love for this dog, then you got some magic in your world. But what would be even more magic is for you to just tell the story of what you love, what makes it on your appreciation board in multiple forms. That's worth throwing some attention on that. Thanks for listening, everyone. Happy New Year and happy manifesting.